Hey everyone, welcome to the channel Scuba Travel and Adventure, and today's video is gonna be how to change the chain on a Honda Africa Twin. And I'll make another video after that, how to change the oil on the bike. Another video on the channels regarding the accessory on that bike. So if you want to check that out, you're very welcome to browse to the channel and watch the content. For the sprockets, I will be using OEM Honda Africa Twin sprockets purchased at the local dealer, Rocky Mountain Power Sports here in Calgary, and I will be using a DID chain 525. So there's going to be few basic tools that are required. So I'll have a Motion Pro chain riveting tool. I'll have a torque wrench. That's another specialty tools that you will be requiring. Other than that, for the rest of the job, which you should be able to use just the regular basic tools, and we'll go over that in details through the install. Two screws to remove the cover for the front sprocket, one here, one here. When you remove that cover, be careful because there's also a metal, like a round metal, like a spacer. We have access, and this is the spacer I was talking about. It's sitting right here, so just make sure you have that and put the screws away altogether, so this way you know where to go. I'm gonna put the bike in a gear, and I'll try to loosen up the front sprocket first. So to remove the front sprocket, I'll be using a 14mm socket. That went pretty easy, so I'm just gonna make that loose and I'll leave it there. Instead of removing the wheel, I figure I'll take the chain link first. That way it's easier while it's on a sprocket, and I won't be using the link removal tool. I'm just gonna use a Dremel tool and try to grind that off. I think that's gonna be a quicker way to take it apart. So that might be a change of plans. I'm gonna have to use the link removal tool by Motion Pro. I had a hard time to get that pin out of there, and I don't want to break nothing here to bang it hard with the hammer. So let's try this thing. So that should be easier to remove that link out of there. Let's see here. That's almost out. Yeah, the link is out this time. There we go. Now we can separate the chain. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. Oh, as you see, the O-rings got slightly over, the chain's got slightly over 20,000 kilometers on it. Like maybe 22 or something like that. And I saw that the O-rings were already popping up on some of it. I think first when I got the bike, I had it like the little bit, the adjustment was slightly too tight. So I'm looking here at the sprocket, and the sprocket looks like excellent condition. Almost seems that I don't have to change that. there she goes. So now again we're gonna do a quick clean inside here while we are at it. Make sure all the grease or mud is out of there. Brand new shiny sprockets. I think that was sort of unnecessary to change those sprockets, but the manual recommends when you change the chain, the sprocket has to be changed as well. And everybody, when I was doing some reading online, everybody says the same things: change the sprockets while you're changing the chain. It is what it is. It's not huge cost anyway, so have to look up the torque for that. It's a shop manual. I don't think I'll find that in the owner's manual. Nice and tight. Okay, so the torque on those bolts are 74 pounds, and on the front sprocket it's 40 foot-pounds. So I have my torque rate set to 74 pounds, and we're gonna crisscross tighten it up. And we'll move to the front sprocket to make sure we don't forget to torque that out properly. We got the chain already riveted, and we're gonna move towards reassembly of the cover here for the front sprocket. Just gotta make sure that this wiring here is in between the groove here, inside the groove. I'll put the gear shifter later on because I have to make the adjustment for my boots, so I'm not gonna worry about that for now. And we'll move over towards making the chain slack adjustment here. So the chain has to be adjusted between 35 and 40 millimeters, and the best way to do it is between your center of the front sprocket and the center of the rear sprocket. So basically we're gonna go here, and the alignment has to go 40 millimeters, so that's, I'm using metric, so here we go. So I'm gonna push it right to the top, and I'm gonna pull as far back as I can, and it looks like we're almost there. I just gotta mention, so when we measuring, we gotta measure to the center of the chain link, not to the bottom, not to the top. So pay attention to that if you want to get an accurate measurement. So we're just gonna go here. That's more or less center, right there, and we're gonna push it to the top and force a little bit more. 40 millimeters, bang on right now. So let's leave it at that, and at this point all we have to do is tighten the rear axle bolt and with the proper torque. So at this point we have the chain adjusted, and you gotta make sure you count your notches here in the back, so it's equal number of notches on both sides when you're making the chain adjustment. And once you have all that done, just make sure to lock your locking nuts for the chain adjustment, and the same thing goes on the other side. So the wrench is used for locking nut and chain adjuster is 10 millimeters and 12 millimeters. And now all we have to do is lock our axle or torque our axle to the 74 foot-pounds of torque. So, and for your axle you needing a 27 millimeter socket. So let's do that. Always hold the wrench on the other side and start. There we go. So the job is done. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you find it helpful, put in the comments down below if you have any questions. And I invite you to browse to the channels for other tutorials in the future. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay updated on future content.